it's just passion for the sport that clouds my judgment. I just love racing. YouTube, what up? How we doing? It's Maddie B, and we got Top Chick behind the lens. Spin it around, babe. Come on.
No.
No? Alright then. No Top Chick. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. Even got Top Pup in my lap. We are headed out to Weaver Family MX Club. Doing a little riding school out here. First time out here, so we're going to check it out. Top Chick's going to be doing a little bit of riding. And Pam back to the tailgate of the whip, babe. Yeah, my bike's back there too. As we know, my knee's still torn up. I actually have an appointment next Wednesday to figure out what's wrong with it. Yeah, you comfy, girl? Still don't know what's wrong, but more than likely torn ACL. I'm not sure what else, but I've been doing tons of cycling every day and have gotten it feeling a lot better. And quite frankly, the program's down bad right now, so we got a big two-stroke race at Muddy Creek next weekend that we may or may not have to line up at. We are doing a little test today, see how the knee feels. It feels a whole lot better. It doesn't really feel bad at all, actually, so I'm optimistic about it. But yeah, we'll see in about 10 minutes whenever we get there. Stay tuned. Top Chick suited and booted.
Yeah.
Damn, sound a little bit less excited. Why don't you?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah, those are yours.
I'm in my Moto Chi, my pre-Moto Chi.
Ah, okay. You really are Greg's kid.
I was actually pulling a Greg on that.
Well, here goes nothing. Trying one knee brace, one knee pad right now. See how that combo treats us.
I feel like you looking out of these goggles.
I bet you do. Whoa, slow map. Get me out of that high speed. No way, not today. Well, I can bend my knee enough to put my foot on the peg, so we're ahead of Budds Creek and Dilla. Never been here. I'm not even doing a sight lap. I feel like my boy MX Udi. Wow, oh my god. I'm gonna take the HOV today. First dab out of the way. Woo! That was a good dab. She held up. You good?
Yeah, I went around some of the ruts.
Some of those sections had me tripping.
Going around the rut lines.
Well, it's good for me. I need to get a couple of good dabs out of the way to see if I can handle it or not, because I'm not trying to go find out whenever there's money on the line. No. I'd rather just know now. Take two. Got riders waiting on me for the school. Let's get it. Oh my god, look at that YZ. I gotta go check that thing out. No way. That thing is sick.
We got an absolute legend out here, Dylan Eason. look like this out here. If I don't look like this out here by the time the class is over, I want my money back. He stole that line from me.
Well, folks, I'd say that was a resounding success. Cut. Like your guys' bikes compared to mine, because like my bike's crazy fast, and when I come out of corners, it likes to pull me back. But when I really want to work with you guys, here's the true test. I mean, I did some laps at the track and felt good, but if I can still unload my bike like an absolute maniac, then we're good here. Hang on. It'll be something if I biffed it right now, but at least we'll have proof. All right, ready? Bennett Mantooth, this is for you. I know you love how I unload my whip. Easy does it, baby. That's a wrap on a day of riding out at Weaver Family MX Club with Top Chick. Went a little better than I expected. We're back at the homestead now. I just had to show you guys this room because I know all you guys that follow along with me have never seen it like this, because it has never been like this. Did some work, tried to clean up the program. Now time for me to explain to you guys why I'm in the position I'm in. Here's a pretty good representation of 2024 right here. This is how all of my two-strokes have been looking lately. Got this bike completely rebuilt, ran it for about 2.5 hours with 3 called VP fuel. And here's where we're at. Haven't had the funds to get her back together. She's just been sitting here like this, no choice. All right, YouTube, before I get into all this, I just want to make it clear. I'm not looking for any sympathy. I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. I'm not trying to act like a victim, none of that crap. I'm really just trying to keep it real and tell you guys how things have been going and give you guys some insight as to what all has been going on. Really, more than anything, I'm disappointed in myself to have put myself in a position like this where I'm about to have to race with a blown out knee, try to make some money. It's definitely far from smart decision making, but unfortunately, I literally have no choice this time. For the most part, it's totally my fault why I'm in this position. There has been some bad luck along the way, but the wise man Ricky Carmichael did once say you make your own luck. He also did say event of turns one time, but I think he's right about the luck part. There's a quote that stuck with me from back in the day, Supercross Behind the Dream show. Cincerello and his dad were working on some stuff in Supercross. AC wasn't really having it, and his dad said, "Bud, this is the path you chose." This is the path I chose, so I made my bet. I got to lay in it, and we got to deal with it. Really, my downfall kind of started back in the winter. I had a 450 for sale up at Triangle Cycles, and it was stolen. Really bummed on the fact that I didn't have any personal insurance on the bike. I had personal insurance on it, and then I let it lapse. It was at another dealership before, and then brought it back home, brought it to the dealership up the street, and my thought was that, you know, I didn't need insurance because dealerships had them, and that's where I went wrong. I really should have made sure, because not all dealerships operate with integrity, I guess. The owner, Rusty Reynolds, basically told me to go F myself. I'm not going to get anything. Pretty crazy to get treated like that by Triangle too. I rode for the shop whenever I was a kid, all the way up through a few years ago. I worked for them, sold over 800 grand in parts in a year, through a broken leg, everything. Moral of the story is I should have been better about dotting my I's and crossing my T's. I should have had insurance and should have been more careful about who I do business with. Pretty unbelievable, but it's where we're at right now with that. So then we tried to pick up the pieces, started really working hard, trying to to get a business going, training kids throughout the winter. Didn't really have any bikes to ride. I'd blown up all my two-strokes through recalled VP fuel. Was just training a bunch of kids on the weekends out at NCMP, trying to get them ready for regional qualifiers for Loretta's. Really felt like I had gained some good momentum with the training kid stuff. And then I was able to get some help with getting a 450, and I raced Colorado Pro National, ended up making it in. And that might have been the worst thing for me, because that gave me the itch to start racing again. And really, in reality, I probably should have just kept on training kids, kept on building that up. It's a lot safer, a smarter way to make my money. But instead, I started training really hard with my guy Brandon Hartraft at Alpha Motocross Dynamics. And it's just passion for the sport that clouds my judgment. I just love racing. And in hindsight, the position I put myself in, it really was a risk I didn't need to be taking. You know, if everything went well, I feel like I was going to have a really good few months of racing. I was building myself up to those nationals really well, and had I qualified and been able to race all those, we would have been in a decent spot. I had some good support to go to those and everything, but of course I tore my knee a few weeks before the last 3 nationals. So tore my knee on a Saturday, then the next day, Sunday, less than 24 hours later, hopped in the truck, headed to Loretta's to try to make a little bit of money, do some content there. Limped around the entire week. Those nationals were a massive failure. Didn't even make it all the way through the end of the season. Ended up going to Ironman anyway. Didn't race, just tried to do some content. Nationals were over. I spent way too long trying to find a doctor that would take my insurance, trying to get this knee figured out. It's been over 2 months since I heard it, and I still have no idea what's wrong with it. I finally get to find out in 2 days on Wednesday this week, so stay tuned for an update on that. Then we headed to SMX. I had Charlotte SMX first up, and that one's pretty local to me, only a couple hours away for a drive. Had a really good weekend of content at Charlotte SMX. I thought things were going really well, and then as you guys know, I flew to Dallas and was shut down by Feld. I'm not really trying to get into it. It is what it is. Not really much I can do about it. It does suck. I was under the impression I was totally cool to be able to do what I was doing. Had bought flights and paid for travel and all that just to get shut down whenever I got out there. So just a massive bummer. That SMX, to say the least, are 3 of my best weekends of content throughout the year. So yeah, with my bike being stolen and missing out on SMX content, paying for travel and all that, I'm down a hefty amount. We're down 5 figures. And for somebody like me who's scratching and clawing trying to make it happen, that's seriously put a dent in the program big time. Been one of the hardest years to stay afloat of all time, but I'm sure you guys all know that. I'm not the only one dealing with this. It's the world we're living in right now. I've never brought in so much money and never had so little money, but it's just the way she goes in this current time. And the last thing to address on this list, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I'm actually in Top Chick's car right now. I'm not in my truck because yesterday we tried to go get another day of riding out at East Bend with a good friend of mine and sponsor Billy Wing from HBI Auto. Me, Top Chick, super fan, we were all gonna go ripping, and right when we hit the highway, my truck started acting up like crazy. We turned around, it barely got us back home. It's throwing a bunch of transmission codes, so I'm not sure what exactly we're gonna do about that. My truck is leaving the chat just in time for the biggest race of the year this weekend. The entire reason why I'm even doing all this, the Cody Gregg Memorial 2-stroke race at Muddy Creek. Like I said at the beginning, I know it's not my best idea, my best decision making to be racing this weekend, but I literally have no choice. I have to pay my rent, I have to pay my bills. I'm not planning on racing any of the other pro classes or anything like that. I literally just want to do the heat race and the main event of the Cody Gregg 2-stroke race. So we just need to be good for 10 laps. I think I can make it happen, but it's definitely a risk, and I'm not proud that I have to take it. And as you guys saw, I don't even have any running 2-strokes that I'm trying to race right now, so massive thank you to Superfan, one of the all-time best guys to have in your corner. Superfan's getting his bike freshened up. I'm going to race his bike with probably my suspension at Muddy Creek for the Cody Gregg Memorial 2-stroke race. Last year, it was over a $30,000 payout, and it's headed that way right now, so hopefully this last week we get some good donations. Even a lot of money for the whole shot, so I might have to put a scoop tire on and let that thing eat. But yeah, that's where we're at. Not proud of it, not stoked on it, but it's nobody's fault but my own. We got to deal with it. We have no choice. I really want to thank everybody that supports me and has helped me get through to this point. I really think we're probably gonna have to start making some changes soon. I've really enjoyed following my passion and doing what I love to try to do it for a living, but it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. I think we're gonna have to probably start taking on some real jobs, doing something extra, because the content, the racing, the training kids and all that, been doing what I can, but just not quite making it happen, not quite cutting it. But never fear, we're gonna keep the tube going. We're gonna have to figure out some more stuff to do. If you guys hung in there this long, I got an announcement that I think you guys will like. I got a 2022 Pro National race bike. It's been up at Triumph of Harrisonburg getting rebuilt. And I'm going to do, I believe there's an R word that I'm not allowed to say, but we're going to do a waffle. This is your chance to win my 2022 race bike that qualified for 6 out of 7 Pro Nationals. $100 entry. I'm going to have more prizes than just the bike. I really want to make this worthwhile for you guys. I don't want this to just be a rip-off waffle or anything like that. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why would I want Matty B's clapped out 2-stroke that he raced at the Nationals? I hear you loud and clear, and that's why I had the bike completely rebuilt, stripped down to the frame. Everything's been greased. If it needed replaced, it's been replaced. Motor's completely fresh. Everything's new, and you could win it for $100. So stay tuned for some more information. If you guys want to reserve yourself a spot, I'll leave my Venmo, my PayPal. Just send $100 to that and put whatever number, 1 to 100, that you want to reserve your spot for, and yeah, you'll be in it. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'm starting to sweat bullets sitting in this car. About to head in the gym, get a couple hours of cycling in, and yeah, catch you guys at the races.